Today's episode is sponsored by the book you see on your screen. Take it away, Jan and Dean. Chad! G'day everyone. Now, some interesting stories today. So, last night, I'll set a bit of a background to this. A friend of mine flew in, a long-time friend of mine. He flew in from the United States. He grew up here, married a girl from the United States. He had 2 kids. He's now a US citizen. He's divorced. The kids the mother has custody of the kids. He sees the kids maybe once every 2 or 3 months, he says. They're totally living in different states. I won't say where he lives for his privacy, but he's living in the United States, and it's not on the coast. It's somewhere in the interior. And he's here. His parents are overseas. He's house sitting for a few weeks. He's on holidays here. His brother lives here, so he's seeing his brother out here as well, another family of his. He flew in on the 23rd of December, and he'll be going back sometime in the second week, I think it is, of January. So he flew in on the 23rd of December. He's single, divorced. He's my age, exactly, a few days younger than me. We were good friends when we were young. We lived very close to each other. And he's out in the prowl. He's got a girlfriend in the United States. He's my age. He's in his mid-40s, 46 as well. His girlfriend's 52. Let me set the picture for you. He is very fit. He works in the fitness industry. I won't say what he does, but it keeps him very fit. His job, he's not a personal trainer, but he is a trainer of some sort in some sport, international sport. Good paying job. And he is very fit. He's thin as an ironing board. He's vegan, and he does that for his fitness level, so doesn't put on any fat. He is 6 foot, exactly. He's got grey hair. He wears glasses, and he's here in Sydney for 2 weeks, 2 and a bit weeks. He's looking to meet some women here. He's looking to help me meet women as well. Now on Christmas Day, his parents are overseas at the moment, so he went down to Sydney's most famous and iconic beach, trying to do day game on a whole lot of international ladies, young ladies. A lot of the people there were probably in their 20s at the time. Oh, they were in their 20s. And they're all young. There were a lot of the people, the locals here are all at Christmas parties. But, he went out trying to meet women down there doing day game. He got blown out. He got completely and utterly annihilated. He didn't meet anyone. And it was a beautiful, hot, sunny day on Christmas Day here, and he didn't meet anyone. He was down at Sydney's most famous, iconic beach, busting his chops, trying to meet girls. Didn't meet anyone. They were already probably all connected, or they didn't want to meet. They didn't want to meet during the day and in those crowds, and I don't know what he was doing or what he was saying, but he didn't meet anyone. So that sets the scene. I went out with him last night. It was Saturday night here, and interesting night. He wanted to see, because he used to live here, he wanted to see how much the city's changed, and he's really seen how much it's changed over the years since he's come back now and to visit. And he's a bit disappointed about the nightlife here. It was very quiet. We did go to a few bars, and I was driving, so I didn't have any drinks. He had some drinks. He had a few glasses of wine on the way, and there were a few. Now I've got some notes on my phone here, so I've made some notes about this. So I'll go off and I'll get the notes up, and that will guide me through this little story. Where is it? There we are. All right. It's a funny kind of night out. So what happened was we went to a few bars, and he said he approached one girl at the first bar we went to. We played some pool. We had some fun. We met a few guys there playing pool. He claims that the girl playing pool on the table next to us with her boyfriend was checking him out. I don't know. I didn't see that. He approached some girl at the bar. Now, I was buying him a drink. I was buying him a wine and getting me a soft drink at the time. And he was talking to a girl next to me. So he was standing next to me talking to the girl next to him on the other side. And I handed him his wine and he introduced me. I think her name was Anna or something like along those lines. I don't remember. He says, look, I'm going, thanks for the drink, just mind my drink. I'm just going to go to the bathroom. And you two continue talking. So he'd been talking to her for about a few minutes till I got served. She was wasn't interested in me. Body language said she wasn't interested in me. And the answers she was, the conversation we had was very, very short-ended on her behalf, and I felt I had to carry on with the conversation. He came back from the bathroom, and she was like, "Oh, you're back." And I think she was into him, my friend, but not me. Bear in mind that he's probably better looking. He's got a little. I mean, I'm not fat, but he's got a lot less fat than me. He's a fitness instructor, not a fitness instructor. He's a sports instructor in a certain sport, and he's taller than me, and he's got a full head of hair. So she was into him. She was not really into me, and he was a little bit upset. He told me afterward, well, how did this all end? Hang on a sec. How did this all end? She walked off, and she said goodbye to both of us and left. She was Russian born. She's from Russia, but she is living and working in Singapore at the moment. So she's on holidays here in Sydney, Australia. And my friend was a little bit disappointed. He said, "Don't you understand?" I said, "No, what do you mean?" He said, "I'm approaching girls here for you. You're too scared to approach these girls." I said, "Well, no. Look, I won't approach these women unless they're giving me signals to approach them, unless they're giving me the eye, or they make it obvious with their body language, or they touch me in a certain way, or women make it very obvious when they want a man to open them and talk with them." And I wasn't getting any of those signals. Neither was he, but he takes it upon himself. So he said, "Look, that's okay. I understand that." He says, "I understand how you are." He says, "I've got a girl back in the States, so I'm trying to help you out. I wanted you to I went to the bathroom on purpose. I didn't need to, but I went there to see, so you two could hit it off." I said, "She wasn't into me." He says, "Oh, that's a shame." I said, "Look, she was more into you, and she came back, I could tell." He says, "Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a shame, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, all right." So it was a little bit young. I mean, this girl would have been maybe in her late 20s, but it was a little bit. It was young, but that age is fine. I'm 46, so it doesn't really bother me. I was having a good time there. We had a drink and a chat and a good catch up. We left. We went to a few other bars, and now with the other bars we went to, I'll just check my notes here. So we went to a bar. It was very quiet in a different part of Sydney. And there were a few people around. There was one very cute-looking blonde girl, Australian girl. And my friend started talking. She was sitting on her own, and my friend started talking to her. And so I went and joined him. And he did all the talking, and he introduced me to her. And she wasn't talking to me. She was just talking to him. Maybe he was monopolising the conversation a little bit. I don't know. But he was trying to get me involved, and she wasn't having it. She just wanted to talk to him. What was wrong? I don't know. She just wasn't attracted to me. That's fair and square. There's nothing I can do about that. And she's attracted to him over me. It's basically when you put two guys in front of a girl, she's going to pick one or the other. She's going to pick the stronger candidate, the guy she feels more attraction to. She felt more attraction to him. Who can blame him? He's probably a better looking guy than me. He is. Well, he'd be considered a better looking guy than me conventionally anyway. Now, the next one, she's more into my friend. We went to another bar. Once again, very few people, loud music. There was a group of about 4 girls in a corner. So he went and approached them. They would have been probably in their early 30s, late 20s or early 30s, around the age of 30. He went and approached them. They blew him right out. They gave him they told him, "We're not interested. Go away, stop annoying us, go," or something along those lines. I was in earshot of it. And basically he says, "Look, those girls weren't, at least they're being honest with me." I said, "Yeah, look, honesty is a good thing. They're not interested. They'll tell you straight off the bat, and you won't have to waste your time." Now, there were most of the people out were there in their social groups. So we went to another bar, and there were a lot of people there. It was a bit more crowded. Everyone was pretty much in their social groups. There were couples out having drinks. guys with girls and guys in social groups already. And they were very protective. The guys were very protective. We couldn't speak to most of the girls, any of those girls really. There was one group in particular that stood out. The numbers, I think there were about 10 or 12 girls in this group, and there were just 2 guys. They're all young and pretty girls. They're probably in their early 20s. They might have been there for a party, but there were only 2 guys in the group, and there were about 12 girls. Numbers were really skewed. I mean, there's no room for 8 other ordinary guys. And these guys that they were with, they were, top tier, good looking, tradition, typically what you consider to be a good looking alpha male in the Western world. And they were young guys, and they were about 8 or 10 of those, 10 or 12 of those girls. I think it was 10 actually. There were 10 girls in that group, and there were 2 guys, and they were basically falling over 2 guys, which is pretty much what I'm seeing now. So many girls going after the top tier men, and so many men just missing out or just having to orbit around and pick up what's left for them, which is really a bad deal for men in this day and age when you think about it. There's not much you can really do. That's just the way the social world has been engineered. In my opinion, it has been engineered that way, not naturally made that way. It has been engineered by promoting so much masculine male sexuality in the media and in photos, and every man now has to live up to that standard. So it really is a bad deal for men in this day. There was another bar we went to afterward, and it was a complete and utter sausage fest, as I'd call it. There were about 50 to 60 guys in there and about 10 girls, and all those girls were with guys anyway. So we walked in, we walked out. I mean, so much for a man drought, eh? So much for a man shortage. Where's the man shortage? I mean, 50, 60 girls in a bar, 50, 60 guys in a bar, and 10 girls? Man shortage? Get real. So at the end of the night, we finished up. We grabbed something to eat. We're a bit hungry. We both grabbed a kebab. Back to the old days when we were young. But my friend admitted to me, he says he forgot how hard Sydney was. He said, and in his own words, he said it was a tough place. He said Sydney's a tough place to meet new people. Those were his own words. But yeah, I mean, at least he's admitting that now. He came here thinking, we'll go out and we'll meet heaps of girls and, we'll hook you up and I'll get hooked up and we'll all have a good time. But he's forgotten how hard it was here. And he even admitted to me last night, he said in his own words, Sydney, he says, it's a tough place to meet new people. And I said, yeah, I mean, that's just how it is. It's always been this way. I said, that part of Sydney hasn't really changed that much. He goes, yeah, I think you're right. On the bright side, look, I mean, we had some fun. I mean, we had laughs. We ended up playing about 2 or 3 or 4 games of pool with these couple of guys we met. And, we're having a good time. We hadn't played pool for ages, and just had a good time there. That's all I had on the notes. There was one other thing about last night. At the end of the night, he pulled out his phone, and he's on all these apps. He's on Tinder, Bumble, and another app. It's got a white background. It just has when you log in, it's just got a letter H. I don't know what it's called. It's just a white background with a letter H. It's another dating and hookup app. And he logged into that app. He says, I'm not having any success on Tinder and Bumble here. But he logged onto that app, and there were 3 girls there on the app on his screen that he's communicating with. And the other 2 were playing very difficult for him. So they were there, but they were making it very difficult for him. He said, yeah, well, this girl wants to meet up, but she's not sure. And I told her I'm not here for a long time, and she doesn't want to commit to me because, I'm here for a short time. And I looked at those girls' pictures. They were okay looking. I mean, these were girls in their late 30s and 40s, and they were pretty. Look, their photos look pretty good for their age. So I wouldn't be complaining if I was him. There was a third girl on his app, and this girl, he told her his true age, 46, and he lamented to me. He says, man, I really got to get some better pictures taken because these girls think I'm not this age. He says, I want to go to a professional photographer, get a modeling shoot where they do me up and they can Photoshop me and make me look better than I actually am. He says, that's the only way you're going to succeed on these apps. I said, well, yeah. This girl actually, as I was watching him over his phone, I was looking at his phone at the same time. She actually went and blocked him. She said, you're not 46, you're lying. you're well into your 50s. And she blocked him. And I said, I laughed. I said, mate, why don't you tell her you're in your 50s? And she'll say, oh, you're lying. You're not that old. You're actually 42 or 44, aren't you? And she'd still block you. And we both had a laugh. But it's just the whole joke of things at the moment in this game. And then he told me at the end, he said, look, why don't you go and have you signed up to these apps like Tinder and Bumble and this other one he was showing? I don't remember the name. It was a white background with a black letter H as he logs in. I said, look, do you think a guy like me can do it? He says, well, you never know. You'll probably have to go through thousands and thousands and thousands of swipes, and you might get something. He says, it's that tough in America too. Guys in America have to go through thousands and thousands of swipes to get something. I said, if that's your experience, then what would my experience be? I mean, I'm not 6 foot. I haven't got a full head of hair. I'm not built like an athlete who trains people in a sport. Although I'm not bad, I'm not out of shape, but I'm not built like you are. You know, I'm 5'6", I'm not 6 foot. I'm bald. You've got hair. I mean, how do you think I would go on this? And he said, look, you don't know. Just give it a try. So I want to put the question out to you guys. Do you think that I should try Tinder, Bumble, and any other of these dating/hookup apps? A guy like me, 5'6", 5'6", bald head, 46 years old. Would I be wasting my time? I haven't tried them. I'm too scared to try them. I know I'm probably not going to get anyone. I know what girls go for. It's not my type. It's not my type in terms of looks. Am I going to waste my time on those apps? Or do you think it is a solution to my problem? I want you to leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Now, the second part of this video is about people say, oh, you shouldn't be getting your validation from women. I agree. But what type of validation are we talking about? Are we talking about your own validation, or personal validation? I don't get personal validation from women. I get personal validation from, following my purpose, making my money, enjoying my life. Sexual validation. Can I get sexual validation without women? I pose you that question. Is paying prostitutes for, the act, is that getting sexual validation from a woman? Is it? Are they validating you, or are they just taking your money and giving you something you're just paying for because they're not attracted to you? They're not sexually attracted to you. They're just having, they're doing the deed with you for your money because you paid them. But are they really sexually attracted to you? And if that's the case, is that sexual validation for a man or not? Now, sexual validation, I believe, differs from regular validation. So getting sexual validation would mean finding a girl who's mutually attracted to you and gets her rocks off in bed with you, and you know it and you can see it. If that's not happening, then a man is not getting sexual validation. I don't care what people say. That is not sexual validation. Okay, validation in life is a different thing. But as men, we have a biological drive, and our biological drive is that we want to mate with as many women as possible. That's just how nature is. Now, sexual validation is different, I believe, to regular validation. So, how do we get sexual validation? We find a woman who's into us sexually, and we have sex with her. And it shows because she gets her rocks off with you in the bedroom. If you're paying for it, or even if guys are having to pay for a relationship or pay their way through a relationship, beta bucks, as they like to call it these days, they're supplying the money, and the woman might be cheating on them behind their back with some guy she's attracted to. The guy she's attracted to is getting sexual validation, but the guy paying for her to stay around in a relationship is not. You see, there's the rub. And what men need is sexual validation. And most men, majority of men in this day and age, are not getting it. They are not getting it. I can tell you that as a fact. So, I want to throw up one more thing, and I might put a little bonus topic afterward. Depends if I can get it set up and attach it to the end of this video. It's part of another video I made that I might release at a later date, maybe sometime next year. I don't know. It's about regrets with girls I might have had chances with, and also another video about times that I became friends with girls, and it seemed like something was happening, only for them to pull that plug and say, nope, it's not happening, sorry. So the one thing, this is the one more thing I want to discuss before I get on that maybe a bonus topic, is finding someone who's like me as a solution to this problem, as a solution, because I want this channel to be solution-based. Finding someone who looks like me, who has been in the same position as me, is around my age, maybe a little younger, maybe a little bit older. It looks like me in terms of height, maybe a little bit taller, maybe a little bit shorter, bald, about some characteristics, most characteristics look in physical appearance like me. I want to know, I want to learn from their experience. I want to know, A, if they've had the success that I'm after, and B, then I want to learn from them. Now, I'm willing to pay any price. I'm willing to be paying any price. If I can find a guy who's like me, who's been in my situation, who looks exactly or similar, very similar to me, and has had the success that I'm looking for with women, and I'm not talking about women in their 50s and 60s. I'm talking about women 40 down to their mid-late 20s range. Bear in mind I'm in my mid-40s, so in the 10 to 20 year range below me. I'm looking for a man who's been in my position, who can take me under his wing and teach me exactly what he did to get the same results. So if I follow his steps that he got to get to his success, I will get the same results. It's called role modeling. And I want to find a role model who's like me and got the same results. And I'm not a surrogate father, the father I never had. Yeah, my father was a dunce for women. I admit that. He had to get it. My father, my mother, basically had to have an arranged marriage. My father couldn't find a woman. It was almost virtually arranged. He was so bad with women, and he couldn't teach me anything. I'm looking for a guy who's like me, in my position, come from my position, looks like me, got the same results that I'm looking for. That I make clear. I'm not looking for a surrogate father. You can call it whatever you want. I don't know. I'm willing to pay them. I'm willing to pay them whatever it takes, because I want this part of my life nutted out, figured out, and solved. I'm not looking for some, flash in the pan PUA who's going to say, oh, this and that, or, you do this, you put A, B, C, D, you get Z, X, Y, V out of it. I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for these guys who sell you methods. I'm not looking for women, female coaches. Female coaches, there are quite a few that pop up, but a lot of their advice is like, oh yeah, there are no leagues, there are no, looks don't matter, there are this, there's this, you need to be bad boy, you need to be this. Well, we know that, but I want to learn from someone who's actually trod the same ground that I've walked on, sown the same seeds to get the same results. That's what I want to do. I'm looking for a guy who has walked in my shoes previously and has now got the results that I'm looking for. And I'm willing to pay them whatever it takes, whatever you want. I want to get this problem solved, because this will gnaw at me for the rest of my life if it doesn't get solved, because I'm not getting any younger. As I said, I'm not looking for a PUA. I'm not looking for, these tall PUAs with beards, Scott, whatever his name is, going in and approaching random girls on the street in those videos, or, Matt the artist, or whatever he wants to call himself, approaching girls on the street, or whoever these PUAs pushing their products are now. I'm not after that. I'm not after these cheesy, go and approach, oh yeah, my name is this, oh yeah, what brings you here, da-da-da-da-da, the sun is shining, the birds are singing, blah, 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 yeah, let me get your number, yeah, sure, blah, 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 whatever it is. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for guys who've trod my path, had that success, and I want to learn from them. And that's what I'm looking for as a solution to this problem. That is probably the best solution I can come up with now, apart from something that I don't want to do, which is isolating myself completely from the world and forgetting about this altogether. Speaking of Anthony Robbins, remember, my friend gave me his course when he did his course. He did a course with Anthony Robbins. He did Unleash the Power Within. He actually gifted me a course, an audio course for my birthday, Anthony Robbins, Personal Power 2, The Driving Force. I remember listening to his introduction in that. I think it might have been his introduction, or it might have been the introduction or the selling or the marketing take for the Firewalk thing, the Firewalk seminar. But I do recall that he said on one of those that what he did is he learnt from role models. He learnt from other people who treaded the path that he treaded and got the same results. And he actually mentioned about a guy he met that had the woman of his dreams. He met a woman that was the woman of his dreams, but she was married to some other guy. So he went over to the guy and picked his brain and said, what did you do to attract this woman? How did you get her into your life? What specific things did you do to attract her? He says, I applied the same theories, did the same things, and got the same results. Now, that's all well and good for a guy like Anthony Robbins. He's, what is he, 6'3", 6'4", square jaw, good looking, 5'6", I'm bald, skinny. Well, not the same looks as Anthony Robbins. Not to say it can't work, but if I find a guy who looks like me and has got the same results, I'll probably do the same thing. I don't know about this. I was doing my ride shares last week, and I found the woman got in my car, and she was the woman of my dreams. She was tall, beautiful. She was brunette. I'm more into blondes and redheads, but she was brunette. Doesn't matter. I like tall women. I like women who tower over me. She was tall. She was in my backseat. She got in with her partner, and this woman, he wasn't talking to me much. She was talking to me, and she was so educated. We're going to see the Nutcracker in the Opera House here in Sydney, and she was talking about and giving me an education about things, and she was asking about what I like to do and what my interests are, and I was sharing it with her. And she was very interested in picking my brain on different things, and she knew a lot about things that I didn't even know about. Very smart woman, sexy, beautiful, brainy. This guy had the woman of my dreams. When I looked at the guy, he looks like nothing like me. He was tall, he was had a beard, he was younger, they're both younger, and well built. I was thinking to myself, and she's giving him an education in the car as well, and I was thinking to myself, should I ask him, what did you do to find this woman? You're a very lucky man. I need to employ the same tactics that get the same result, the same procedures and get the same results. And I realised it would have been futile because the guy looks nothing like me. If he looked like me, it might have worked. But I don't believe if I did the same things that he did, I'd get the same kind of woman because, let's face it, I mean, in this world, the biggest hidden taboo in this world is people say it's not about looks, it is about your looks. Let's call a spade a spade. Even women who are non-visual, even women who are more kinesthetic or auditory. I mean, there might be some out there that don't care, but I would say 99% of women would screen a man by his looks first in the first few seconds and say yay or nay. And that's just human nature, unfortunately. There's nothing you can do about it. And that's one of the biggest, massive hurdles I ever face. Hey, on the topic of ride shares. Oh boy. Now, a few days ago, might have been on the weekend, I was doing it on Saturday, and speaking of looks and driving, dating, and there's a couple, probably year 11, year 10, year 11, or even year 12 on school holidays in my back seat. They booked my Uber, she booked my Uber, her or her mum, I don't know, it's a woman's name. She was an Australian girl, white, brown, long brown hair, very attractive. She's still in school, they're both in school. Got into the car with the most unlikely partner I think she could ever have. He was a big set guy, not big in terms of muscly, big in terms of being fat. Looked Indian when he first got in the car, but then when he started speaking, I looked at him. He got a good look because I was like a stand, like, what the hell is she doing with this guy? This is something I don't see around Sydney very often. Mixed race couples that look like this. She was skinny, very nice, a good body for her age, and attractive. I know she's still in school, but and white Caucasian, a white lady. And this guy was a big set. I thought originally he was Indian, but he was more like Polynesian, maybe Southeast Asian mix. Darker skinned, but very big set guy. And they were kissing and cuddling and holding hands in my back seat. I'm like, this is something I don't see very often. What on earth did he do to attract her? It's not money, it's not fame, they're still in school. What on earth, unless the parents are rich and she's after his parents' money, what else has he done to attract her? Maybe he's just a lucky guy, who knows? That's one weird thing. Now, oh yeah, I saw another one of those couples today. This guy was, he was probably skinnier than me, shorter than me maybe. And he had this baby boy on his baby boy on his chest. He's crossing the street. holding the baby boy. His wife next to him, and she was a really cute blonde. And oh, geez, I would like to date his wife if I had a chance. She was really good looking, beautiful, cute, not tall, just well rounded, nice figure, beautiful face. She had sunnies on, her hair was flowing, long blonde curly hair. Walking across the street, strolling the pram, they're talking. Now he was as bald as me, as skinny as me, probably skinnier, and maybe my height, if not even shorter. Thinking, what the hell? That's something else I don't see very often in Sydney. Now, I probably could have. They walked past me, I would have asked I would have, if he was on his own, if he split up with her and did his own thing, I would have gone back and said, hey mate, just curious, what the hell did you do to attract that kind of beautiful woman into your life? Because I look like you and I want the same results. He didn't look rich, although he might have been hiding it, I don't know. And judging by the age of his kids, I don't think she married him, or they got married before he lost his hair. So I think he actually was bald at the time that she was with him in marriage. So baldness wasn't an issue for her. And obviously height, and obviously build. As I said, was he rich? I don't know. He dressed, you wouldn't think he was rich by the way he dressed, but then again, appearances might mean nothing. I don't know. I'm just game. By the way he looked, I'm just guessing he wasn't that rich. By the way he was dressed and the way he was carrying himself. But anyway, I digress. Now, a couple more things. Back to the rideshares. There's been some weird things happening over this holiday period. First things first, the couple. This is a funny story. This guy called Michael. I get a job ring up on my rideshare app. It's for a book by Michael. So I go to the pickup spot. Two girls get in my car. Two beautiful blonde Australian girls. Beautiful women. Tall, beautiful, dressed in mini skirts and heels, dressed to the nines. Get into my car. One moves into the seat behind me, the other one moves into the centre seat. And I said, it's for Michael? They said, yeah, for Michael. I said, oh, I guess neither of you are Michael. They go, no, Michael's coming. That's okay. They had a bit of a laugh. So I offered them what I do, my mints and sweets. They took. They spilled. They picked it up, put it back in. They gave it back to me, so I put it back into the canister I've got in my car. And then these two guys walk in. Now, these guys they're good looking. Very good looking, well-built Australian blokes. Michael gets in the back seat with the two girls. I said, which one of you guys is Michael? So Michael says, yeah, it's me. He's in the back seat with the two girls. This other guy gets in the front. He's directing me to the place where I've got to go, but I knew where it was because I was local in the area. Anyway, these girls just start questioning me, but they start asking me questions. Oh, yeah, so what's your background? You don't look Australian. Yeah, I said, look, I'm born here. And to a lot of people, I look white Australian, but to these girls, I somehow look Southern European. You tell me in the comments, do you think I look white Australian or I look Southern European? Now, they seem to think I was Greek, but I'm not Greek background, so there's a hint, okay? But I am from that part of the world. My background does go back to that part of the world, but I won't say where. But I'm born here. I'm a first-gen Australian. My parents came here when they were young, and I'm as Aussie as can be. And they were talking about my background, where I'm from. I said, yeah, look, I've been to that country a few times. It's quite fun, a lot of fun, enjoyment, I have a good time. But I'm more Aussie these days. I told them, I more relate to the culture here. I'm born here, and I grew up here, and I'm a local. And the guy in the front seat was directing me. Michael in the back seat, the guy who booked it, was entering a very interesting conversation. He was talking to the two girls. I think that the girl he was talking to was the one sitting next to him who was in the middle seat. And he was saying, he said, and she was talking about, no, she was talking firstly. This was on Saturday. She was talking about her, she said, oh yeah, I've got on today, I've got on my new fluorescent yellow G-string. And this Michael guy, now I thought these people were couples. I thought if Michael dates or was married to one of these girls, they're all young people. I thought they might be going out, hooking up, going out. I thought Michael was with one of these girls and the other guy was with the other girl. So Michael turns to the girl next to him and says, oh yeah, that's nice. Am I going to get, can I get a chance to see? Can I have a look at it? Can you show it to me? Can you show me your new fluorescent yellow G-string? And the other girl quips up and does this to him. Hits him. Michael, shameless man, you're a shameless man. You're married. You shouldn't be asking strange girls about, Michael, you're married. You shouldn't be asking girls about seeing their new G-string, their new fluorescent G-string. Now, I don't know if that woman was his wife. This guy would have been no more than 24. She was in her early 20s. Maybe they were married. I don't know. It was really strange because they were going to a place I've never heard of before, and this is the in place now, apparently. It's called the Island in Sydney. It's the Island. There's some secluded beach in the middle of the harbour called the Island. Now, if this guy's married, what's he doing with two girls who he's not married to? Two young, hot girls he's not married to. And I dropped them at their place, and there's a wharf. There's a wharf in Sydney. And there's this massive, one of these luxury speedboats, one of those big luxury ones where people hire them out for the day at whatever it is, $5,000, $2,000, I don't know what they hire them out for. Fully equipped with, all the bar and everything else. And there's a whole lot of women dressed to the nines in heels and mini skirts getting on this ship. Guys with what the inside community call chads, they're getting onto this ship with them. I'm thinking, geez, I'm so out of the freaking loop in this place. How the hell do these people find out about these things, and why can't I get in on it? Or how come I'm not in on this? How come I don't get invited to these things? How come I haven't got a hot, smoking hot woman there, young woman to take on one of these things? Why am I so out of the picture? What are these guys doing that I'm not doing? Anyway, I think you know the answer. That was a funny story. The last one is a very interesting story. It happened also on Saturday when I was doing rideshare this week. Picked up this girl people doing big Christmas shopping in the shopping centres and districts of Sydney get very busy during Christmas time. So, the woman, she'd probably been in her mid-30s, early mid-30s. Her name was, it was too recent, maybe I won't mention her name, but she was dressed to the nines. She was in a pink skirt, mini skirt, like showing, almost up, showing a lot of her thighs and her legs, and she was in a pair of expensive heels, and picked her up. She popped a few bags down under the seat. She got in the front seat, so I'm looking across, and she's there. She pushed the seat a bit back so she could rest. And we start driving, and I said, let's get me out of this apocalyptic event here called Sydney pre-Christmas, where everyone's shopping, there's millions of cars and people on the road. She had a laugh. And we get to the first red light. She goes, do you have any tissues? I said, no, I've got no tissues on me. But I said, what do you need them for? She said, no, my glasses are dirty. I said, I've got prescription glasses. These glasses are prescription in my glove box. So I reach over and grab my glove, and she pushes her legs back, so I accidentally stroke her legs, bare legs. Grab it out of her glove box, and I grab her my glasses wipes so she can clean. She goes, thank you, that's great, thanks. She cleans it. She grabs a few mints out of my container down in my driver's seat. And very friendly. She's talking to me. We're talking about people and life in Sydney in general. And then she says, just hang on a sec, I've got to make a phone call. So she's talking to some bloke on the phone. And she gets off the phone, and so I resume the conversation. I said, so which part of New Zealand are you from originally? And then she does this to me. With the back part of her hand, she does this to me across my shoulder, my left shoulder. With the back part of her hand, like that. Like this. Like a playful hit. Okay. I knew she was flirting with me. I'm not from New Zealand. No, you wouldn't be with that accent. I said, no, of course you wouldn't be with that accent. She hits me again. No, that's okay, darling. I'm just joking with you. Of course I'm from New Zealand. And so she has a bit of a laugh. I said, no. She said, I'm just joking around. I said, I love joking around. Joking around is a good thing. But more people need it. She was laughing. So getting closer to the destination, she gets on the phone again to the same bloke. And she puts the phone down. We're about 2 minutes away from where I'm dropping her off. Now she's going for lunch. She told me she's going for lunch with her female friends at a very posh and popular part of Sydney. They're all dressed. She's dressed to the nines. Probably her friends are all dressed to the nines, going out for a woman's lunch on Saturday afternoon. She said, no. I said, oh, yeah. She said, no, it's just my husband on the phone. I had to call him about business. So once again, here we go again. The woman flirts with you. She shows interest in you. And then, I've got a husband. Okay. And then she mumbles. Now, before we go there, why do women flirt with men when they're already married? You've got a husband, okay? You've got a husband. Why make me think that I've got a chance with you only to drop the husband bomb after you flirted with me and joked around with me like you're interested in me? I mean, way to pull a guy up and then flush him down the toilet. We're almost at this drop-off point. It's about 2 minutes left. And she says, she got off the phone, the second call with her husband, and she says, oh, my husband and I, we run a card business in Sydney. Okay. A cards business. I said, well, you must be busy at this time of year being Christmas. It's flat out. People want Christmas cards and New Year's cards, etc. She goes, oh, yeah, we're flat out. But, my husband's such an idiot. He's such a goose. He's an absolute dickhead. He doesn't know how to manage the business properly. He doesn't know how to manage his life properly. So I cheekily looked at her and said, wow, and you're still with this man. Wow. Don't know how she took that. I bet it struck a little chord in her head and probably thought, I could do better than that. Well, he's probably sitting behind the driver's seat of your car, the same man you flirted with on your trip. And that's all I got to say today. I shall see you guys later.